Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's Lunch and Learn series for school counselors and career development coordinators. With us this morning is Dr. David Barbour with DPI and Career Tech Ed. He is over our trade, technology, engineering, industrial education curriculum with specific to advanced manufacturing, public safety, and drones pathways. Today's presentation and time is recorded. And thank you so very much. I am Amy Policastro Schrader, the Career Development and Work-Based Learning Consultant, one of them for the state. Dr. Bryant is our school counseling consultant. She's not able to join us this morning, but I am here to help answer any questions or get them to her should they come up. This is our attendance check-in. Coming here on the screen, there's a QR code and there is a link that I will put in the chat for you. There will be a check-in link at the beginning of every session and a checkout link at the end of every section. And this helps us to make sure that you're getting the appropriate CEUs for attending the Lunch and Learn. Again, this is a QR code or the link is in the chat, and you'll get a link at the end of the session as well as a checkout to help with attendance. We'll keep this up here for just a little bit. Thanks, David, to give you some time to fill that out. Okay, and moving on to the next slide. Should you have any questions today during this time with Dr. Barbour, please put them in the chat and I will get them to him and interrupt a little bit. There will also be some time at the end for questions. However, after this session, if you'd like to send some follow-up questions, this is the QR code on the screen and a hyperlink is in the chat as well. So we are reading the question links every few weeks and getting them to the appropriate CT curriculum consultant as follow-up. You may watch the recording after today's live session and think of something else to ask. Know that those questions are being monitored and we'll get to Dr. Barbour and any consultant related to their curriculum area. We'll keep that up there if you'd like to have that handy. The PowerPoint is provided to all career development coordinators afterwards through the CDC Moodle, and Dr. Bryant, a school counseling consultant, is also getting this out to school counselors. So you'll have access to these links as well through those follow-up PowerPoints. Okay, David, I think we're good. All right, some housekeeping items. As with each sessions, this time is to review certain specific CT curriculum program areas. The live session, attending the live full session, earns you 0.1 CEU. This will be uploaded into your NECES transcript. And there is, again, a check-in and a check-out to ensure that we have appropriate CEUs. All sessions are recorded and again shared with school counselors and CDCs. Thank you, David. Moving on to the next slide. At this time, I'm going to officially pass this over to Dr. Barbour for sharing his information. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Appreciate you having this opportunity to get to share. My wife and I was talking a minute ago, and I said, I don't get nervous about these things like this. And I think it's really because I'm passionate about what I do. If you know me, I'm passionate about how we can provide great opportunities for our students. I mean, we're able to literally change lives. That's, if you're looking for Maslow's law of hierarchical needs, we live in the self-actualization phase in the education field that we're in. So great opportunities I'm glad to share with you. My program areas are advanced manufacturing, drones, emergency management, EMT, firefighting, law and justice, public safety. All of these areas here are mine. And we're going to try to cover them in the short period of time that we have for today. As you can see, these are the courses that I cover. We cover all the public safety courses. We cover the drone courses, which are currently 3 courses. And then we cover 3 manufacturing courses. And that's so now there are other manufacturing courses, but our courses are considered advanced manufacturing courses because they're more into the newer technologies and not necessarily the older technology, such as machining and welding and cabinet making. All those have been with us. They're still manufacturing courses, but Jim Presley has those that are not included in what we would consider advanced manufacturing courses. Partnerships with any T&I program, partnerships is critical. I mean, we have to have, we were talking about this morning, we have to interface with the people in the industry because in most cases, they control our curriculum. They control our what our course objectives are. So if they change, we have to change. And sometimes they change without letting us know. So we have to be involved to ensure that we're always teaching the right information so that our students have the ability to get what they need. So we need them to help promote and advertise our trades, work-based learning opportunities like job shadowing, field trips, internships, pre-apprenticeships. We want them to come visit the classroom and CTSOs. We have Skills USA coming up. Our state conference is coming up in a few weeks. We're excited about it. We got a lot of people. Matter of fact, we got a meeting with some of our judges on firefighting Thursday. This is an opportunity for our industry partners to get involved in what we do with our students. CTE curriculum resources, this is common. You already should know all this information, but just to make sure that, remember all of our materials available in our course management system, course information, standards, pathways. If someone contacts me about any of this information, I point them over to the CMS. I don't even provide it anymore because I want to do what they say, the old Chinese proverb that says, I don't want to give a man a fish. I want to teach them the fish. So I'm going to turn you over to that area to find it for yourself. Pathways. So my first pathway we're going to talk about is advanced manufacturing. So you can see on the advanced manufacturing, we have we don't have any foundational courses in this particular pathway. Exploring career, we have the advanced manufacturing 1 is our prerequisite for these courses. Advanced manufacturing 1, we'll talk a little more about these in a minute. Our concentrator courses, you can go 2 different pathways. You can go to the advanced manufacturing 2 and be a concentrator, or you can go to manufacturing robotics and be a concentrator. So there's 2 opportunities at concentrators within this course. We currently don't have any particular majors that are specific to this, but we do have work-based learning opportunities, apprenticeships, internships, entrepreneurships, cooperative, and there's all kinds of opportunities here in the to go beyond the course itself. So let's look at advanced manufacturing. So advanced manufacturing, as I said, we have IM1 Advanced Manufacturing 1, and you can either take IM1 2 Advanced Manufacturing 2, or you can take IM1-4, which is manufacturing robotics. Either one of those will make you a CTE concentrator. So you can do advanced manufacturing 1 and 2, or advanced manufacturing 1 and manufacturing robotics. The proof of learning for these courses are the credentials. As I said, we focus on the credentials. That's why we have to work with industry people, because they determine what the courses we teach or the content that we teach. So we have the certification for IM11. There's 2 certifications. There's safety, certified production technician safety module, and a certified production technician maintenance module. Both of these together achieve the proof of learning. If you only earn one and not the other, you don't achieve proof of learning for this course. The same, and then we look at IM12 certificate. It's another of the MSSC courses. Manufacturing Skills Standards Council is the certification body, and they have 4 modules. 2 of the modules are taught in IM11, and 2 of the modules are taught in IM12. And the second module is certified production technician quality practices and measurements, and the certified production technician manufacturing processes and production. So you can take there'll be a total of 4 modules you would have to pass to earn the MSSC CPT certification. For our purposes, we're splitting, it's just too much material. So we're splitting it up into 2 separate courses. Now, we also discovered that we have a big need out there for, as you may know, manufacturing robotics has continued to pick up speed. And so to do that, instead of us creating our own course, we went out and found a certification that's out there in the industry called FANUC. FANUC has 60% of all manufacturing robots are FANUC robots. So FANUC already has a course. They already have curriculum. They already have a certification. So we align our course directly to the FANUC course. So if you're taking the IM14 manufacturing robotics course, you're taking the actual FANUC Certified Robot Operator 1 course. And at the end of the course, your students should be able to sit for that certification. And so the proof of learning for the IM14 course is the FANUC Certified Robot Operator 1. You can see, there must be a timer on. You can see that the production, as far as production workers, $30,397. These are average. This only requires a high school diploma or equivalent. That's pretty good money for right out of high school. Manufacturing Robot Operator 1, they get $43,680. So a manufacturing robotics operator is in higher demand. There you see there's strong opportunities for both of those fields. Manufacturing is coming back to the United States. It has been a way. COVID taught a lot of American manufacturers that we can't rely upon offshore manufacturing. We have to have the capabilities of doing our own manufacturing. Now, we can do a lot of stuff offshore, but we still have to have the capability back here. So they brought a lot of manufacturing back so that we have that ability and we can't get it stopped that in the future. And the key for our success is automation and robotics. So that's why you see we're working in that area. The selected pathway concepts, knowledge, and skills in manufacturing include safety, maintenance. We've talked about this already. Quality, process, robotics, programming, operating, maintenance. All of these things are part of the pathway concepts. We already talked about the career outlook is slow growing. We just said the outlook is strong for those jobs. The deal is when they look at job growth, you understand we have a lot of people retiring. Manufacturers that for a period of time, they had people that were technicians still working in their 60s and upper 60s, some near 70, because just wanting people to replace them with. So those people are retiring, and because of that, those jobs are opening up. They're not expanding the number of jobs, but the type of jobs are changing, and those jobs are available. But the type of careers will be manufacturing machine operators, production workers, and equipment operators. All of these can be done with just a high school diploma. Next area we'll look at will be public safety. Public safety area, this is generic public safety. This is fields that we have our concentrator course is IP11 Public Safety 1. And our prerequisite course, our concentrator course is IP12 Public Safety 2. So you can concentrate with just a pathway in public safety. We do have schools that only offer public safety. They can't find them a firefighter teacher, an EMT teacher, a law enforcement teacher, and so therefore they still want to offer it. They can. There's ways of becoming a public safety teacher, but just getting certified as an instructor, and then you could teach the two with a background in public safety. So you have a volunteer fireman that could come in and become a public safety teacher. The proof of learning for this is you're going to have Public Safety 1, Public Safety 2. You can be a CTE concentrator. There is credentials. So for Public Safety 1, there's an organization called LAPSN, Law and Public Safety Education Network. And with that, they have developed a curriculum. North Carolina is one of the founding members of LAPSN, and its focus is on providing secondary education in the field of public safety. So this is what we're doing as far as we are doing that. They've developed, working with these other states, working with the Criminal Justice Directors Association, working with the Criminal Justice Academies, working with the National Sheriff's Association, National Chiefs of Police. They've developed this certification that these industries are recognizing. Now, in Georgia, they're hiring people with this certification right out of high school as not as a sworn officer, but as something else, as an entry level, because they're trying to build a bridge to them reaching the age where they can become a fully sworn officer. So this certification becomes important. It's called Law and Public Safety Introductory Competency. Our second level course is focused on something called CERT, Community Emergency Response Teams. And we also get a national-based 911 dispatch certification. so the kids can get to become a 911 operator. To be a 911 operator, you just have to be 18 years of age, pass a drug test, and graduate from high school. If you can do those things, a background check, of course, will also be run. If you get those things, you can be a 911 operator. Now, lots of training is required after that, but to get in, the entry level is pretty low to get in because they really need a lot of these people. So you can see here's the job payment for those. High school equivalent for public protective service officers, they get $36,000. For fire protection ambulance dispatchers are earning $36,000. This is right out of high school. Not a bad pay for an 18-year-old. They can go to school if they want to be a fireman. They can still go to community college and become a fireman, or they can go become a law enforcement officer or EMT. That gives them an opportunity to go to be those things while they're already working in that field. A lot of times for the same employer, so they're also getting their years of service. Again, the pathway is basic career information would be public safety, includes corrections, emergency fire management, security protection, law enforcement, legal services, 911 telecommunicators. Moderately to fast growing. I just found out I'm a town councilor in town of Smithfield, North Carolina. And I just found out last night that we have 9 openings for police officers right now. 9. Firefighters, we're able to usually hold our own, but sometimes we've been down 2 or 3 in that area. It really becomes, I know emergency management people are desperately looking to build up programs. They work strongly with us to do that. This is a fast, moderate growing field because especially in firefighting, the issue is that few people have time to volunteer. So more and more of these fire stations are having to go from 100% volunteer to hybrid stations where they get people paid. Some people get paid to do it, and some of them are moving from hybrid to full-time firefighter stations because they've got to have firefighters available. So we see the job careers are definitely moving forward in this area. Just for this particular pathway here, though, community service patrol operators, protection specialists, and 911 operators are a possibility. The next pathway is emergency medical technology. This has the prerequisite. Notice Public Safety 1 is not a prerequisite for this. And the reason for that is because some people only have a limited amount of time on their schedules. As you guys know, since you schedule people, some people may decide in their senior year they want to be an EMT or they want to be something else. And therefore, the objective was that they could go straight into this course as the first level course. So you have to be, because now to get into this course, you got to be 17 by the end of the course to get into IP21, Emergency Medical Technology 1. You have to be 17 by the end of the course, which means you're looking at the latter days, latter semester of a junior or a senior already. So we have that the first level course is IM12, Emergency Medical Technology 1, and the concentrator course is IP22, Emergency Medical Technology 2. At this point in time, I know you're thinking, I'm glad they're recording this because he speaks really fast. You're absolutely right. There's a lot to cover, short period of time to cover it, and that's why you can ask questions. You can view this over and over again, and so we're going to move on. Again, the proof of learning for these, so you get Emergency Medical Technology 1, Emergency Medical Technology 2 is your CTE concentrator. And the credentials is for IP21 is something called Emergency Medical Responder. Now, Emergency Medical Responder will not make you an EMT, but a lot of manufacturers are looking for people with EMR. So if you have people that want to take manufacturing or work in the field, work in any type of production, an EMR certification is very important, actually in higher demand than an EMT. That's because all these people need they have safety teams. And an EMR certification is something that they want people to have on a safety team. We have a manufacturer in Richmond County who's paying $1 an hour more to start for the students who have their EMR because they can be added directly to their emergency safety teams. So EMR is very important. Our second level course is EMT. Now, let me tell you, our emergency medical technician certification, this course is called a bridge course because the Office of OMS is allowing us to take the time that we've taught in our EMR course and the content and use it towards our EMT certification. There's 240 hours required of EMT. And so you have to do both. So allowing us to get the EMR certification and then take the EMT. And you see the starting pay. And this number here, I don't think is correct. Johnson County, North Carolina, again where I live, last year raised their EMTs by 42%. They gave across the board a 42% pay raise. So they're making in the mid 40s. The bare starting pay is in the mid 40s for EMTs in Johnson County. So the demand is definitely high. Pathways include emergency medical technicians, EMT, emergency medical responders, available through the Office of Emergency Medical Services. Skills needed to treat emergencies on primary of these courses. Strong growth, as we said, over 10.5 thousand job plus growing in North Carolina. Career opportunities is emergency medical technician, first responders, paramedics, and emergency medical technicians. And I would say that we don't include it on here, but as I said before, manufacturers are looking for people for safety teams. So we could easily put on here production safety teams, but you usually aren't hired for that. You're hired for something else, but that certification is an add-on bonus to you. Firefighter pathway. The prerequisite for it is Firefighter 1, Technology 1. Notice again, not Public Safety 1. And again, the same thing applies here, because if you already have a student who's a volunteer fireman in the community, there's no reason for them to have to take Public Safety 1 to get into Firefighter 1 when they're already a volunteer fireman. So we didn't want to include it that way. So that's the reason why you don't see it as a prerequisite, but we would recommend it. We always recommend Public Safety 1 for a 9th and 10th grade class. Always Public Safety 1, because it gives them a foundation. You don't really want Firefighter 1, IP31 Firefighter 1 as an entry-level course for people. You don't really want that. You want them to already have an idea that's what they want to do. So if you have a firefighter program at your high school, I would highly recommend you use your your Public Safety 1 as a prerequisite for that. It's not a state required prerequisite. Of course, you can make it that way. The concentrator course is IP32, Firefighter Technology 2. You will note that we do have a career pathway major, IP33, Firefighter Technology 3. That's because to get the firefighter certification, it takes so many courses. And what they do is we take the firefighter certification through the Office of State Fire Marshal, and we break it up into 3 different modules. So Firefighter Technology 1, Firefighter Technology 2, Firefighter Technology 3 is every module they need, with the exception of fire control. We don't send them into a burning building. That's something they will have to do at the community college, or they would do through their local fire department, but we don't do that. We said so we see, I already just said that already. Proof of learning for the credential is you have to have the credential. Now they say Firefighter Technology 1, 2, and 3. And for you counselors, understand that there is no such thing as a certification called Firefighter Technology 1, Firefighter Technology 2, and Firefighter Technology 3. That is not a real certification. But the reason why what that is that's where they've tethered them together. So Firefighter Technology 1 certification is tethering all those modules that you take in Firefighter Technology 1 course. And they tether that together, and they call that Firefighter Technology 1. The IP32 Firefighter Technology 2 certification, again, is not a real certification, but they tethered together all of the certification modules in Firefighter Technology 2 and created call it Firefighter Technology 2. So you can, that you don't have to trace the one module and not all of them. Firefighter Technology 3 is the same way. Again, those modules that are included in Firefighter Technology 3, you have to get all of them to earn that certification. Now, notice the starting pay for this is only $31,570. This is not, I do not believe, is also correct, because again, as we know, the demand for firefighters have gone up, so has also the pay for them have gone up. But this is the number we're getting. We get it from we get that information from nccareers.org. I think that's something that needs to be reevaluated, because I think those numbers are not correct. Firefighter skills include understanding causes of fire, how to handle equipment used in firefighting, how to manage these type of emergency situations. Notice, even if you don't become a fireman, the information that you learn, that the student would learn through these firefighter technology, benefits them for a lifetime. These are career skills that make a difference in their life. So even if a kid chooses not to be a fireman, firefighting is still a positive course for them to be involved in. They learn chain of command and other things. It is a moderately growing career with over 15,000 jobs in North Carolina, growing, as I said before, because they're moving from volunteer to mixed hybrid stations where there's volunteers and full-time, and then some of them that are hybrid are moving to full-time stations because they just can't find people to support the programs. Volunteer career opportunities, firefighter, fire rescue technician, and fire management specialist. Law and justice. Law and justice, again, does not include, notice, again, does not include the public safety one. Again, like I said, public safety one is only a prerequisite for the public safety pathway. And it is also a possible prerequisite for emergency management we'll get to next. But the rest of them, it is not a required prerequisite, but it is highly recommended that it's a prerequisite. In Law and Justice 1, IP 41 Law and Justice 1 is the prerequisite, and IP 42 Law and Justice 2 is the concentrator course for it. You will notice that we do have emergency management, and all the I didn't include that, but in all of these we have emergency management 1, emergency management 2 could be used as career pathway options. Because there is an option beyond these courses that they could take those courses. But we're going to talk about emergency management in a minute. IP 41 has a certification. It is through LAPSON again, National Law Enforcement Certification. You can become, the IP 42 is a certified protection officer. You can be a certified protection officer at 18 years of age. Security guards paying $29 to $700, that's about $30,000 a year with a high school diploma. Police and Sheriff's Patrol, it says high school diploma, but you have to be a patrol police or sheriff officer, you would have to have additional certifications because you have to have BLET to be able to do that. But right out of high school, you could be a private security. We do have people that are taking the certified protection officer. We have a school in Harnett County who has students that we had a girl, female, who graduated from Harnett Central, and she went to work at Central Carolina Community College as a security guard, and they paid for her tuition in school and paid her a salary while she was going to school. By the way, she wasn't majoring in private security; she was majoring in something else. But she was able to earn while she learned. So that's something there. Law and justice pathways, basic understanding of fundamental laws, protective services, moderately growing, as we said, 26K a year. Those jobs, I said 9 opportunities right now in Smithville alone. Custom protection officers, airport security screeners, customer service security guards, a cop, a deputy sheriff. These are definitely career opportunities, tremendous opportunities for careers in law enforcement today. I mean, if you want to be a law enforcement officer today and you have a clean background, there is plenty of opportunities to move in there and to move up. The last area, I believe, no, we have drones in it, but emergency management is what we talked about before. The prerequisite for emergency management is either public safety 1, or you can get into it by being a concentrator from emergency medical technology 2, firefighter technology 2, or law and justice 2. Notice those are concentrator courses. You have to take those courses, or you can take public safety 1 to get into this, because we don't want you going into public safety 1, the emergency management 1, which is about managing the emergencies, right? Being an emergency management person. And you need to have some background before you get there. So if you didn't take public safety 1, then you'll need to take these other courses to ensure that you have the ability to get in to be successful as an emergency management person. So the concentrator course in this pathway is IP 51, Emergency Management 1. Now there is a major, Emergency Management 2, and so therefore there is a great pathway. We work closely with the North Carolina Emergency Management people. They work to develop the curriculum and align the stuff with us, and they very much work to help you in any way they can. Qualifying courses, as we already said, for IP 51 would be either Public Safety 1 or any of those concentrator courses. Emergency Management 2 is a major pathway. Concentrator proof of learning would be the Emergency Management 2 certification. Again, as we said, Emergency Management 1 certification is not a real certification. It is a combination of all those modules. There are 13 FEMA courses in IP 51. 13 FEMA courses that are in IP 51, and the student will have to pass all 13 of those FEMA classes to get that NC Emergency Management 1 credential. Now, IP 52 has 10 FEMA certifications. They will have to take all 10 of those certifications to get that too. Now, the North Carolina Emergency Management, they are working to develop a real NC Emergency Management 1 certification that would include the modules that we listed. But there would be a real certification issued by the North Carolina Emergency Management. So we're working with them closely. In the years to come, we'll see that to fruition. Notice emergency management directors with a bachelor's degree make pretty good money. It's slow growth because there's not a lot of opportunities. There's not a lot of people who qualify for that. That's one thing that emergency management is looking at changing, is developing these lower level emergency management positions, because there's lots of work to be done in case of emergency. And we know, we see the tornado outbreaks in the middle of the country, and we know they come our way. And when these devastation happens, emergency management is in charge of all of your public safety resources. So emergency management people would be in charge of your firefighters. They're in charge of your EMT. They'd be in charge of your law enforcement. They're in charge of everything. Matter of fact, in an emergency situation, they actually control all of the state resources. So if they need to use school buses, they use school buses. If they need to use school buildings, they can use school buildings. They have the total assets, total rights to all government assets in the state in an emergency situation. So having emergency management people understand how to manage all of those resources. That's what emergency management is about. We see that here. It's geared to those who want to manage all the resources. So you can see that's why we don't want somebody to come into this thing without having any background in public safety. So as a minimum, public safety 1 before they come into these things. The jobs, moderately over 200 plus jobs in North Carolina, not thousands, but 200. Emergency management specialists, emergency preparedness program specialists, homeland security program specialists. So we see there are other jobs other than just being a director in the field of emergency management. Now, my favorite right now is drone technology. Drone technology, by the way, any CTE program can teach drone technology. Any CTE teacher can teach drone technology. They would have to get their 107 certifications, but any teacher could teach it. The prerequisite for this course is Drone Technology 1. The concentrator for it is Drone Technology 2. There is a new course. I didn't see it. It's not on here right now. Notice there's not a foundational course listed. It's not listed because it was not a approved course yet. It was in pilot this year. Next year it will be out of pilot, and so it will be listed next year. So there is a supplemental technical course. It's ID10, Drone Technology Fundamentals. Let me just tell you, this course is being sent to the state board this month or next month. I think they moved it to next month. It will be, the objective would be that it will be turned into a prerequisite for drone technology, and that course, that will take effect in the 24-25 school year. So in 24-25, Drone Technology Fundamentals will be the first level course. That will make ID11 the concentrator course, and then ID12 will become the major course. But today, as we speak, ID10 is a fundamental supplemental technical course, and the proof of learning for it is a PBM. We use a PBM for ID10 course. The proof of learning for the credential is for ID11 is credentials. We're getting the students certified as 107 pilots and DOT operator permit. They will be able to legally fly as a drone pilot if they pass all the certifications in that ID11 course. The ID12 course is about mapping. They have to learn to map, they learn to fly, they have to be certified pilots to get into that class. But once they're certified pilots, they make good money. Look, drone operator here with a high school diploma, $60,000 a year. The growth is really high. Look, 51% growth is projected. They need over 150,000 new drone pilots. This is an exploding field for the future. So great opportunities for students. Mapping using graphic information for GIS systems, photogrammetry, inspection, energy, power, construction, public safety can be used. Fast growing, we said 150,000 jobs. The surveying, mapping, engineering makes $115,000. Real estate photographers make over $107,000. Inspection and monitoring people make over $100,000. There is potential here to make lots of money as a drone operator in North Carolina or around the country. So these are tremendous fields for people to get into. So that's why you see we're excited about drone technology and continued growth. Now, we're going to move into our last part, talking about student organizations, and you guys should have already seen this before. These are not new slides. Skills USA is critical. We use Skills USA to interface with industry because industry wants to see students. They want to see the students. So we integrate that. So we empower, it says empowers men to become world-class workers, leaders, responsible American citizens, and a skilled workforce. We can take Skills USA and we can bring in these employers in and see the students doing the very work that they're going to hire them for. A lot of employers hire high school graduates. We had one year at the National Skills USA, or at State Skills USA, we had a student that finished first in welding. The employer that was involved in the welding program offered that student at Skills USA North Carolina a job right out of high school up in Virginia, working in their shipbuilding, making $90,000 a year. This been now, it might have been 7, 8, 9 years ago even, making $90,000 a year. And he said, well, I won first place. I'd like to go to the national and compete. They said, no trouble. We'll even pay you to go to nationals. So you see, the point is there's great opportunities in this field through Skills USA. It's a great opportunity to interface. Our national skills meeting is coming up. State conference is coming up on April the 18th through the 20th, just right around the corner in Greensboro. I would highly recommend you take a personal day, professional day, and come to Skills USA on that day, see all the competition, talk to the teachers, talk to the students, talk to the industry people. I mean, it's an exciting time. It's one of the reasons why we do what we do. We get to see that. Then national, if you get an opportunity to ever go to nationals, it's going to be in Atlanta. It's only a 5-hour drive. You can drive up there for the day. There's tremendous opportunities to see what's going on in Atlanta. We compete against the nation's best students in the world, in the nation, are competing in these same competitions, and our students go to compete. We usually do really well in some of our competitions there. Amy.
Thank you, Dr. Barbour. Appreciate this. This is the time if you'd like to ask any questions of Dr. Barbour related to the pathways, courses, and credentials he shared. I'm also putting in the chat that URL to the Q&A form I mentioned at the start of this webinar that you can send questions in at a later date if you'd like. Dr. Barbour is here at the moment with us if you have any specific questions. Incredible amount of opportunities for our students in this pathway, in this curriculum area, and all areas. I appreciate the extra time done to prepare and share the salaries, the employment opportunities and growth in North Carolina. Got a question for you, Dr. Barbour.
Sure.
Does the Skills USA competition include middle school students? That's from Courtney.
Yes, it does. That's one of the areas that they're expanding into, and that's one of our greater areas. Well, so Skills USA is unique. They have middle school, high school, and post-secondary. So the Skills USA is able to go through the entire process. So we have actually, Skills USA has a lot of programs that's not necessarily typical what we consider T&I programs, because in some other states, Skills USA is the only CTSO. So it includes culinary arts and health science and even agriculture stuff. So tech ed, a lot of tech ed stuff. If you go to Skills on Wednesday, that Wednesday, you'll go upstairs and you'll see a lot of tech ed programs, competitions. Matter of fact, our tech ed guys are going to be there helping to monitor and work in that program. So we do have a lot of that is opening up the doors for our middle schoolers. So the middle school is really growing in Skills USA. Absolutely.
Great question. Thank you, Dr. Barbour. Courtney follows up with this. I'm very interested in incorporating Skills USA into my middle schools next year, but I have no idea where to start. Can you provide her some tips?
Absolutely. Skills USA, Skills USA is unique, and the fact is we have a number of people who are full-time staff for Skills USA. We have Paul Hadeprem, who's the executive director, and then we have Ron Likens. Ron Likens, his whole objective is to go out there into the field to work with people just like you, to help you. So if you're interested, they can make contact with you. He'll actually come to your school and sit down with you and help you figure out how to develop and integrate and develop your own Skills USA. That's what he does for a living. So we have people. So Ron Likens would be the one. You have his contact information. Yeah, there you go. Contact Rob, and Rob will be glad to do that. That's what he does for a living.
Yes, thank you. That's Rod Likens, ROD for his first name, and Likens is Lykins, but his email is in the chat. Let me put the correct spelling of his name in there as well, next to
Of
that
course, you can
email.
always reach out to us and even the TNI guys, and we'll be glad to put you in contact with them. We talk to these people on a regular basis because our view is Skills USA. We're Skills USA. I mean, you hear there's a saying, Skills USA. We are Skills USA. It's been our chance. And that's who we are. We are Skills USA. It's not just the students or just the teachers, advisors. It's all of us. We're all Skills USA. I mean, because from the middle school all the way through the post-secondary people, we're Skills USA because that's what we do.
Thank you, David. Courtney, great questions. Can you help me out here? And if you wouldn't mind putting down what district you're in, that might be something of interest as well, for you, David, and just as an FYI. Cleveland. Okay, excellent. Thank you. Any other comments? I'm sorry, you said Pasquanat. Cleveland.
Pasquotank.
Pasquotank. And the other Courtney's Pasquotank. We've got two Courtneys here.
Oh, I say Pasquotank. Yep. Pasquotank. Been there many times.
Yes. Any other questions, comments, thoughts for Dr. Barbour as he's here live with us? Okay, well, at this time, I'm putting in the chat the URL for what Dr. Barbour has on the screen right now, your attendance checkout. The QR code will take you to this checkout form as well as the URL that is in your chat. This is to ensure we've got your attendance, make sure that you're here, helping for the verification of CEUs. You'll get an email from Danielle Rivenbark say in a few days, within the week, definitely related to this time, and that this course or webinar will be listed on your NESE's transcript and gives you that 0.1 CEU. I'll give you a few more moments to complete that. Okay, thank you, Dr. Barbour. As with all of our sessions, please consider sharing everything CTE that you are doing or hearing about in your schools and your district. Here's our social media, our hashtag CTE for North Carolina. We are on all sorts of social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and there are our links. I will put the hashtag in the chat right now. Again, you'll get the PowerPoint shortly within the week.
I actually left off something I should have showed. That we do have a YouTube channel for our drones. Okay. It's called Drone Pilots for NC. So it's DRONE Drone Pilots, PILOTS plural, Drone Pilots FORNC, Drone Pilots for NC. We also have hashtag, so you can hashtag Drone Pilots for NC. We have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. All of those. So instead of NCTE for NC, if you just put in Drone Pilots, DRONE PILOTS, Drone Pilots for NC, you would find the exact same thing. It covers all of our stuff. Matter of fact, we're getting ready to push out there on our YouTube channel the latest version of our how to implement and deploy a high school drone program. It is an hour and 20-minute video. I mean, I couldn't cut it down any lower than that. I said, no, but it goes through everything you need to know, equipment, insurance, teacher certification, curriculum. It covers everything. what type of drones you should purchase. It talks about it all. So
And
that's
David, what is that again? That's something on your YouTube channel?
yeah, it's me on my. Somebody, I've got one now that's a 30-minute video, but it's the older version. I got a brand new one I'm getting ready to publish out there. It's on our YouTube channel. It's on drone pilots. If you go to YouTube and type in drone pilots for NC, you should be able to find it. And it is you will find, if you do a search on there, you will find how to implement and deploy a high school drone program. And this new one says, and lesson learned. Okay, and lesson learned, but you'll see it. It's like an hour and 20 minutes. Just finished it the other day, so it will. And if you ask me for it in advance, I can send it to you. I wanted to go through. I got a few ums in it, and so I was debating on taking the ums out. You know, because I'm an ummer. When I'm talking along, if I'm thinking and I'm trying to do it at the same time, I think I'll say So I might get a chance to put them out, I might not. But anyway,
Thank you. That's
I
excellent.
just said so I'm a number.
Yeah, you know what, we might want to consider putting that link on this PowerPoint before I send it out. That might be something of help to folks as well.
Yeah, I got a slide that I do. I just need to stick. I didn't realize I didn't stick it in there, but I can put the slide in there before we send it out.
Okay, that's terrific.
Because I got it looks exactly like that, except it's got the drone pilots for NC on it.
Thank you. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining in today. Thank you for listening and taking the time to learn more from Dr. Barbour and TTE related to trade, technology, engineering, and industrial education with specifics to advanced manufacturing, public safety, and drone pathways. Hopefully this has been helpful to you as you work with students and share all the pathways, career opportunities, credentials, and courses related to this CTE pathway. Thank you. Thank you for joining in. See you at the next Lunch and Learn session. I'm going to stop recording now. Thank you, Dr. Barbour, so very much.
You're welcome.